Now I'm gonna get straight to it. Just bear with me. It's a lot of things going on right now, construction, etc. Different events. So just bear with me. To my heavily watched individuals, some will label gang stalking, monitoring spirits. Again, if you like what you hear and see, on this channel, which is a backup slash, enlightenment channel, I am number 13, subscribe, I do go by Triple Ones, the God. I own us 13. And I know that's a long name, so you can either call me 13 triple ones or ones. I'm also known as 3, but just to keep it simple, you can call me 13 or you can say Triple Ones. But my whole full, name is Triple Ones, the God. I own us 13. And again, if you want to check out my main channel, the link will be in descriptions. So for my fellow heavily watched individuals, there's different levels to what we call life, just like a video game. There's many people being watched, but for different reasons. But this specific message is for those, enlightened individuals, people that may, be labeled chosen, selected, for a higher purpose, a higher mission in life. Don't worry about the mask. I wear it for a certain reason, more for fashion, etc. Listen to the message. You are not alone. If you came reincarnated, came back to this earth for a higher mission, then I am speaking to you. For anyone that may feel like this is crazy talk, then this message is not for you. You have to understand that there is a war going on between what they will call dark and light. But not all darkness is bad and not all light is good. You have to use your discernment. If you feel like you're being watched every step you take, every time you come out the house, at the workplace, anything that you do, especially if you're an artist, if you're a content creator, if you're speaking the truth, if you're enlightened, if you're trying to wake people up, or you're trying to, encourage people in these hard times, and I'm speaking to you, but this content is for anybody that can relate. You may not have a certain, I guess, big mission, but there's no, what they say, there's no big eyes and little U's. But I beg to differ, but that's for a whole nother story. But even you that may not even, be here to carry out a big mission, but you trying to figure out why you always being watched, because you may also be a part of the called, because many are called, but only a few are chosen, So I just want to say, this is for anybody that's going through things or being bullied, community bullying, being ridiculed, etc. Especially if you're a good person, and especially if you, again, make content or do, have jobs that help others, and you genuinely want to see, regardless of how a person look, color, race, creed, you're just a good person, then this video is definitely for you. But as we know, it's levels. Just like in the military, you got foot soldiers, you got commanders and chiefs, and you got etc. We just got different rankings. But I definitely speak for those ones that they may even call the 144,000. This is specifically for those individuals. There is a lot of games being played, but the realm between earth and what they would call the celestial spiritual realm is thinning. And the truth is being revealed every day. This is an illusion. This is a program. This is a video game. This is a simulation. So as you going through this and realize that you are Neo in this matrix, for the high vibrating, individuals that's here to enlighten others. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but you have to learn and understand that you can't let, these monitoring spirits bully you or put you in a position where you're getting angry or you're being sad or dealing with depression. Just know you are here. We all here serving a mission, a purpose, whether it's big or small, but all together as one. We all here, whether even a bad guy has a mission, and it's to stop you, and you have a mission to make sure that don't happen. Constantly seeing planes fly, then everywhere you go, especially if you're out in nature moving around, or people just come up to you or just seem like they come out of nowhere, stand by you, eavesdropping, trying to hear your conversation, etc. Keeping tabs on you. These are dark forces. These are people that are disagreeable. These are the people that are irritated by the light that you possess. So just know it is not a coincidence. If you feel like you're being followed, stalked, this is chess, not checkers. You know what I mean? In this world, you got to look at it too as a giant chess board. You got to make the right moves. But everything that you go through is for a reason, whether it's good or bad. And if people are watching you, stalking you, groups, etc., then that just symbolizes, and this is my personal opinion, that you are part of those ones. Maybe what they call the 144,000, the chosen, the called, the anointed ones. And I'm not saying this to try to make any other person feel less than anyone else, but if you can't carry this burden, what they would label a burden, or the stress, the problems, the headaches, the constant manipulation, anywhere you go, everyone can't handle that, and everyone is not meant to be able to handle that. That's why it's only a few that are chosen, and they're being gang stalked to the highest degree, in the physical, but especially in the, in what we would label and call the spiritual. But I don't care how many times I may say this and other people may say this, but you are not alone, and you never were alone. Even when you feel like you're alone physically, you're not alone. You are being guided and protected by a higher power, and these evil ones know not to touch you. So all they can do is monitor and watch and try to hinder you and stop you from your mission. Whether your purpose, whether you are an artist, you paint pictures, you write, you create content, you have jobs that help others, you go out your way, and that irritates these demons. Your light, your positive light irritate these demons, even in the biblical texts, it say, do not touch my prophets. Do not touch thy anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Again, that's for a whole nother story though. But for my high vibrational, my out of the box deep thinkers, what they may call biblical, or what they may call God or gods, to me is one of the same of what they would call extraterrestrials, But just know, you're not crazy. You're not weird, and just know that, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the agreeable ones, speaking of ancestors, etc., because there are bad ones from my overstanding. You know, just know there's nothing that you can't do, and this is a test. And you will pass with flying colors. But just know it may get harder, and it may get, you know, more rough before it get better. But this is what brings the best out of those, you know, ones. Again, I don't like too many titles, but what they would call chosen, because you're chosen for a higher mission, a higher power, a higher, you know, and this is why you get gang stalked, you know, 3 times more. This is why you get attacked 3 times more, etc. This is why you go through more than most. This is why you don't fit in, because you stand out. You were born to stand out. You were raised to stand out. You just automatically stands out. It doesn't matter if you're quiet and silent. It don't matter if you got the same color on as everyone else. You're going to stick out in the crowd. Even your silence is loud. So I just want you to know, yeah, there's many levels, I guess, to what they would call gang stalking. You know, and I speak to anyone that's going through it, but especially for those ones that's here to serve a higher purpose. You know, you will be hunted. You will be gang stalked. You will be followed. You will be watched. But just know this for sure, you know, you were handpicked by the gods. And just as much as they're monitoring you, they are being watched by the watchers while they're watching you. You know, you are protected, and more than likely, when you're going through these things, you may even be an ascended master, etc., in training, etc. See, they try to numb you down by giving you television, by giving you sports, and all these different programs. Exactly what it is. It's a program to program your mind, you know, to distract you from the real truth, you know. And that's why they say life is but a dream. When you sleep, it's for you to wake up. And for the real ones that's going to catch that, they're going to catch it. You know, you are being watched. You know, I am being watched. And that could be for multi-purposes. And it is for multi-purposes. You got agreeable beings watching you, and you got disagreeable beings watching you. And I speak to those real ones. Just know you are a game changer. You are you are full of courage. You know, you have that authenticity, you know. You're just genuine person, and just being who you are, you know, you breaking generational curses. You're actually helping people just by existence. And the ones that, you know, gravitate towards the negative dark forces, the demons, the witches, the warlocks, you know, evil practitioners, etc. I can go on, because all of these people are linked. The same people that claim to be helping you are the main ones that's hurting you. So just know you are special, and you are a part of those ones if this message resonates with you. But it's for anybody. If it's helping you, just know you are protected. You know, again, I don't like to make any other people feel lower than other people, but certain individuals are here to serve a higher purpose. And trust me, those evil ones know in those high places. They've been known. That's why they're trying to distract you. And they know if they touch you, the heavens will open up. You know, they know the real ones. And, you know, you may be a part of that. You know, but we all got to learn how to play a position. Everybody can't be a leader. You got to have troops. I mean, you could be a leader in your own way. We all can lead in our own way. But there are always certain individuals that stick out a little bit more, go harder, think smarter, you know, make sacrifices, you know. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't claim or try to be even compared to someone that was chosen, because a lot of times you didn't chose this, it chose you. Triple ones, owners, 13. Like, comment, and subscribe, share, turn on your post notifications. More vids to come. Again, just know, and it's for this video is for anyone that's going through you know, gang stalking, bullying, etc. Anybody, but especially for those ones that's here, you know, to you know, to make big changes, to enlighten others, to, just help raise up the vibration, you know. And I'm speaking to you. I'm out.